Well, this is the final post for this evening. So, I had again, what can I say, ladies and gentlemen, nothing but a professional. In fact, I was the one that when I went into the desk to the front of house to ask for Motherwell and the post you saw last, I got quite angry. I even used the word effing. It was at them, it was with them. But there you go, so, sue me. The chaps just went, look, I'm going to have you talk that way, and they're quite right, and they empathise, because when they come in to say, right, 2 police officers are coming over. So, basically to give you the log, as I say, Sergeant McMahon last night, amongst other things, said he couldn't take any charge. It was all about swapping it off. I don't know if it's because of seniority level, but the 2 young gentlemen officers that came to speak to me tonight took me into an instant room and I gave them a blow-by-blow account, and I gave them this. This is a 3-page summary of evidence. This is what was given to the Procurator Fiscal to decide. So this is the backbone that preempted my emeritus 10 days in jail. 10 days in jail before anything was decided. 10 days in jail where I was put in with convicted criminals in Addiewell, not other people on remand. So that's a contravention. So these people, once again, even in that small aspect, are being anarchistic, and we have to abide by the rule of law. Isn't this typical of so-called public servants? Well, certainly some of them. And look, these nice young chaps who were, without question, my experience with them were professional. But I gave them enough to make them confident to do what I'm saying now. The police FOI request was refused. And he's sitting there telling me you get an FOI request when I had phoned months ago the police unit at the Parliament. I says, I want anything you've got on McKerrow, phoning you about incidents. And they said, we need to put an FOI, put it in, and I'll print it out. I've got it on my email, can't get it. Personal information, that's including, as I say, PNC check done at my van as I left from the BBC after protesting, nothing more. 3 police officers, they saw nothing. No one said anything to them that required them to arrest me. So again, how could I cause fear and alarm? Of course, the stigma of a man anguished is always seen as aggressive. A woman suffering the kind of rape that I have suffered for 15 years, not seeing my child, being derided not only by the courts, but derided along with the rest of us men and our children and our family, our mothers, as grandmothers, our daughters. So none of this feministic crap about fighting sexism against women. It's not. This is the disease that might have come out against all the oppression of women, but this is not the answer. But anyway, to digress, one of the 2 officers told me about the storm system. So the storm system, they were quite explicit, and I asked them, so if a member of Parliament came to the police unit at Parliament and said I was threatened today, I said, So, I mean, it comes back to, as I say, the judge not allowing me, and I quote him, why do you want to call back these 4 witnesses? The 4 protagonists that initiated this investigation, who misled the police. Those 4 protagonists, and I named them, and I says, because if you call them back, and if I'm telling a lie, if I don't, you can hold me in contempt for 2 years. I mean, I laid it out for him. Says, they lied and I will prove it. So call them back, and he went, you had your chance. I'm sorry, but that's not the conduct I want to see from a sheriff. I want a sheriff who is going to be, oh yeah, well, I'll call you on that one. That's his job. And remember, he's telling me you had your chance. We had 9 days of prosecution. He refused me my call witnesses, whether right or wrong, and he refused any recognition of the fact that I couldn't obtain, and for some reason neither could the police or the PF, these 6 police officers at these 3 meetings. And of course, since then, I just got better and better at realising all the forensic holes here in their case. Miss Aitken said that acid militarised on a mobile, on an answer machine of the Parliament. Now in our submission at the court, it morphed to I said it to her. Now, would you accept the span of time she got it wrong, or she got it wrong when it was closer? Of course, that was a year after it actually happened, her claim. So, if it happened then, why did it take a year? And if before you'd even got elected, Miss McKerrow, you were already reporting your concern to the police, and we know it doesn't exist, hence my FOI request is so being dropped, then why would you suddenly not take the opportunity to get that voicemail tape? Because we know, whether we believe you or not, at that time you weren't about anything. You took it up the ring because of what I said about your mother's bereavement, and I'm sorry you took it that way. But you know, I can empathise with that. You know, just as you should empathise with, I don't like you in the Parliament telling me that us men are all beer drinking, misogynist wife beaters, as you did in Parliament not that long ago, since you lied about me. But going back to the meeting with the two officers tonight, I have raised an incident number. I say to them, you asked me for proof to file my perjury charge. It's all in-house. Yous have it. Yous have it through prosecuting me. So how anybody can dare say that I can't retrieve that or request that to the same case to file perjury charges is beyond a joke. As it is to say, it might be unlawful to abuse, but we the police can't do anything because it's not illegal. And they might be right, but I'm saying, if that's the case, we want it out in the public. We want this on a question in Parliament. We want this in the Public Petitions Committee, the Justice Committee. This is unacceptable. And if it's unacceptable to the public, then the public's view should be reflected in Parliament. Now, this I'm going to give you is the incident number, SP 2014-1008-1390. That will now be on the storm system. So now they've said what I basically said tonight, including some of the points I've made out to you about that you hold all the evidence that would support my perjury claim. They'll put that in that report. So I now need to go back to the FOI office that I've now got to phone verbally, check out why they're saying they can't release this information to me. And I'll put in an FOI request for this incident number for me coming into that meeting. And I want to once again thank the vast majority of the police, because in the end it will be the police conducting themselves in a professional manner through the whole histrionics of this event that will indemnify that no matter whether they like me or not, whether they were even to some degree upset, what they got upset about is a byproduct of their disregard for the abuse, systematic abuse, lawful, unlawful, illegal or otherwise, upon men and children. And I hope my gay friends and my women colleagues who have been paid less than their male colleagues can empathise with this. I hope my Chinese, my Jewish brothers and sisters can empathise. My Muslim brothers and sisters can empathise with this male phobia. And anyway, I'm getting a bit upset again. I mean, just some of the crap they wrote here. These women are just psychopathically female chauvinists, if nothing else. They're like, you know, Victorian men who think women should be seen and heard and are the property of their men. They think that we should all just shut up and that they're all victims and they could never do anything bad to us. And what was it to say? All these posts will be on tomorrow. This is the 8th of October. This is BrianMcKerrow fighting for the human rights of everybody, not just my child or children and unmarried fathers. Because believe me, telling people that it's wrong to troll McCann's, and then the same people that caused that lady, misguided she might be, it's a tragic thing. She was scared she was going to get charged. I know how that feels. I've been suicidal before because of that. But that's just moments of weakness. Never give up and never surrender. And I'll never tell a lie. If I've been an arsehole, I'll be the first one to admit it. It doesn't make me evil, it doesn't make me a criminal. And if I have to say, well, after 15 years of this treatment, my child, you're damn right I'm livid. And my other wee daughter, my wee Chloe, because of the last 2 years I've not been able to get work. And I've not been able to provide for my stepdaughter. She's my daughter. I hate calling her my stepdaughter. I've got 2 daughters. I've got an ex-partner to support, and this is to stop, ladies and gentlemen, and I ask you all to post this when you see it, and thank you.